Everyone, this is Ashrit from Learn Digital Academy. So last session we discussed on daylight settings, how to composite your scene with the help of Photoshop and all. In this session, we'll discuss on different type of light setting. So evening light setup or night light setup. So already we have a sun. So last time also I mentioned if you move the sun towards down, you will get a dark lighting. So just move the sun towards down. I need a complete evening or night kind of setting. So just move wherever you need. Go back to camera angle and render it and check. It's not completely night. So what I will do? So move your sun completely down. So just make it your scene complete and dark. So now only little amount of backdrop you can able to identify. So now what you need to do, you need to play with more lights. So we have a different types of lights actually. So where you will find, so yeah, this looks more decent. So I want to place a different types of lights. So where for focusing the front angle, I need to place one light. For focusing the side angle, I need to place one light. So then, in front of doors, I want to place one light. Above the house, like aerial view, moonlight, I need to place a light. So where? So we have a light called plane light. So here you can observe V-ray plane light. So use that. So just draw. For example, the first part I want to draw is front angle. So here you can observe the light. So the rectangular light, this indicates the direction of light fall. Okay. So after drawing, go for modifier. In the modifier, you need to switch a few options. So go for rectangle options. So cast shadows. Yes, we need a shadows. Double sided. Light should illuminate both the side, right? So that's why you need to turn on double sided. So then the light, this one we call it as a light area, the box. I don't want to showcase that a light area in my render. That's why what you need to do, you need to turn off. By default, it is turned off. You need to turn on invisible. Turn on invisible. So then in the top only you have an option light multiplier, that is intensity and color, what kind of light color you need. So go back to camera and save frame, render it. So now you can observe a small amount of light in the front area. I want to increase the light intensity. Select the light. So instead of 30, so I'm going to place 100. So then render. So just check. Yes, now you can see a little more bright. So where you want to place, you have an option, you can place. So one light is done. So what I will do, I need the same light in other direction also. So take a copy. So rotation is minus 90 degree. So other angle is our camera angle, right? The side view. So place your light for the side view also. So you can move the light a little more front. It will give you more brighter. So yes, this looks more decent. So camera render. So now you can observe it looks more brighter. So once you added a light. So I don't want this much big lights. Go back to perspective. So decrease the size this much. So it's up to you how much big light you are placing, in which distance you are placing your light. So this looks more decent for me. Yeah. So it's good. Camera, save frames and render. Yes. So now looks more beautiful, looks more clear. So for this tones, I want to add a light. So like a spotlight kind of things or attractive light drops you can able to identify in all exterior elevations in the evening scene, right? So how to add that? What kind of light we call that as? So that one we call it as Ies Light. So if you Google it, you will get a lot more Ies Light source files. So just you need to download and you need to use that. So I will show you how to use the Ies lights. Go back to perspective, turn off, save frames. So the first you need to draw an Ies light. So here you can observe V-ray IES, or in the right hand side also you can observe V-ray IES. Select. So where you want to place for the staircase near that cladding stones. Yes. So just click and drag it and release. So just move and place where you need. So this area I need IES light. So this is the light source and the bottom one is your light target. So you can observe, you can move. So go back to camera, render it. So you can't able to identify anything because there is no light source at all. Just we added a IES light, but we not even added a IES light file. So you need to add a IES light file where you will find. So go back to modifiers. So in the right hand side you have an option called IES file. So select, click on none. So check your local drives because already I have IES light files. I downloaded already. So I'm going to use IES light files. So we have a lot more beautiful options. You need to utilize it. Where just a moment. V-ray IES light preset. So which one you need? Currently I have 30 types. So select any one and click open. So now render it and check. Still you can't able to identify. We have an option of a selected area render. We call it as a region render. So here click and select this. Now if you click on render, only this part will render. So let's check. You can observe no. So currently no light source at all. So select the light, increase the light intensity. So currently it is 4800 is there. So I am increasing to 44,000. So very small amount of light you can see over here. So I'm increasing one more for. So maybe sometime you will get for lakhs, millions. So you need to play with these things. Yes, now you can observe. So little more. So instead of 4, I am placing 8. So more brightness, more intensity you will get. See, it looks more decent. It looks more attractive. So always you need to place IES light files. So now if you don't like this light, so select replace it. IES file, click on this. So I have a different light source, for example 20, open it and again render it and check. So now you can't able to find any light source because the intensity. So just increase the intensity in the right hand side down. So now it is in 825. Okay. So now what I will do, I will add 10 and render. So still no light. So I will add one more thing, one more 0. So now you can see a very small amount, right? So depends on the kind of IES light you are using. You need to play with the intensity value. So each and individual times it will give you a beautiful output. So you can observe now. Yes, looks good. So if you're not happy with that light, so go back, change it. So which light you need each and individual time, you can replace the light sources. So not an issue. So increase the intensity. See now this looks more brighter. So you can decrease 1 and you can increase the value. Yes. So this looks decent for me. So increase more brighter. So one digit if you are playing also, it will give you a very beautiful outputs. Yes. Stop. Cancel this one. So this is the region render. So then light we applied. So go back to perspective. So select a target with the light also. So where and all you want to place a light, you need to identify first. The first area in this part, actually I want to place a light in this area. So it's up to you where you need to place. You can place. There is no uh, limitations. Where you can able to identify this looks more beautiful, you can place. Take a copy. So now two lights I have placed. So then again what I will do, I used to take a copy of the same thing. So I will place over here. So completely bottom. So then the same thing I will mirror. So like upwards. So currently bottomwards are there. So now I want to place upward direction also. So select the light. In the top you have a mirror option. Click. So which X, Z, so which axis you need to find. Select only one first, mirror it. So Z axis, yes. Now the same thing, Z axis, okay. So now you can observe the lights. So it will spread in bottom also, it will spread in the top angle also. Go back to camera and render it and check. So where and all light is falling. Yes. So this looks more beautiful. This looks more natural. But we need to add a light source, right? Maybe some bulb kind of things or maybe some cylindrical pillar kind of things. So some object we need to add it. So go back to perspective. So in the shapes, we have a cylinder. So just draw one cylinder or a tube. So I am drawing with the help of top view. So just it is a dummy source object. So material. So I prefer black only. Previously also I added a black for railings. I will use the same one. So where is light? This area we placed a light. For the same area I am placing this. This is the source. So copy for both the sides. So the same you need to place in the top. So completely top also we need to place a light source, right? So wherever you are placing this kind of Ies lights, make sure you need to place the things. So camera. So now I will decrease the intensity of the main light. So 100 is there. I will turn to around 70. The side light 100 is there. So that one I will turn to 50. So both are different light. So now render it. So each and individual places you can add IES lights. So it will take a time because how your render times now it depends on the number of lights you are using. So because day scene we added only one light, that is sunlight. So now we added n number of lights. So 6 IES lights are there, 2 a different source of light is there, 1 moonlight is there. So now you need to concentrate on each and individual parts. It will take a time to render, of course, yeah, because we added a different types of lights over here. So both the scene will impact more. Day scene give you a different output, and the night scene will give you a different output. So you can showcase your presentation in both types. You can only compare with the previous things. Previously it's rendered too quickly. So now it is taking a time because it takes each and individual light parameters to render separately. So make sure you need to place everything in a proper way, proper direction, proper materials. So without adding materials, simply if you are adding a light and if you're taking a render, you will not able to get a proper output. So you need to play with each individual part of a material. So glass, railings, doors, windows, what kind of building color you need, what kind of frame color you need, what kind of outlook you need, everything you need to decide. So one design is more than enough. You can showcase with a different types of outlook. You can showcase with a different type of colors. You can showcase with a different type of lightings and all. So this gives you a very beautiful and attractive outputs. So if you are doing a evening scene here, no need to do composition with the help of Photoshop because anyways backdrops will be dark, right? So you can use as it is. So in case still if you want to showcase some trees, if you want to do some color corrections or some changes, obviously you can go back to Photoshop and you can do the changes. So once the render is done, so I will show you how to play with the Photoshop also because the scene is dark. So we need to play how what kind of sky you need to add, what kind of trees you need to add, how to play with a little more light, brightness, intensity and all will change in composition. So one thing I need to mention, so number of time you practice, you will get a more beautiful and decent outputs. So if the scene is big, you need to spend a lot more time. If the scene is small, of course, the same effort you need to place, but you will get a quick outputs because the area or the measurement is small. For this elevation only, you can design in multiple ways. You can think in multiple ways. Instead of this window empty, the glass we placed for the balcony or the staircase, right? You can showcase in a different design. Instead of this black cladding stones, you can add a different stone. So for this normal balcony railings, you can add a glass railings. So different types of thoughts or different types of ideas you will get, or maybe you will get ideas by looking into some other designs. You can implement the same design or the same structure for your elevations if the plan is matching. For render only, it will take a time. So sometime for one render it will take hours together. You need to wait patience. So you need to wait a long time. So patience is the main thing. So when you're working with the 3D things. So you can observe Ies Light. It looks more attractive. It looks more beautiful. So we have n number of light resource in the Google. So just you need to find and you need to download. So if you are using a different types of lights, this looks more attractive. So now zoom in and you can observe here I placed the light source. So now people can able to easily identify, okay, they placed the light resource over here. So that's why light is falling. So if you're not placing this kind of objects and if you're showcasing only light, it looks unnatural, it looks dummy. So try to place any piece. So maybe cylinder, maybe tube, maybe rectangle, maybe box, whatever you feel, just place one object. So light source you need to place. The same light you can add for compound walls, your normal side elevation. If you are done with a beautiful side elevation also, you can add this. So if it is a corner house, you need to concentrate on two sides. So one is side and one is front. If it is a center house, only you need to concentrate on front elevation because both the sides, maybe some buildings are there or maybe some other apartments if you have, no need to concentrate on side things. So just concentrate on front. So try to give a maximum beautiful elevation for the front only because front is the only view you can attract. Yes, it's almost done. So only few percent is left. So once it is done, so save it, take it to Photoshop, do some changes. The changes means we can play with the brightness and contrast. So we need to add a backdrops. So for the doors here I placed a normal color. If you want to place a door texture as we placed for gate, right? In the same way, you can place a door textures for doors also. So you can observe how much time it's taking for the render process. So that is the only reason we add backdrops, we add trees, bushes, plants and all in Photoshop. So few people they will add everything in a 3D. They will not take it to Photoshop composition to add a backdrops or to add a trees, plants and all. So if you have a good system, of course, you have an option. You can place trees, bushes, plants, cars, whatever you want to showcase. Everything you can place in a 3D only. So, but depends on the system, depends on the requirement you need to place. So, if you don't like the blue color glass, you can change the fog color. So when we are working with the materials, I showed how to change the materials, how to add textures and all. So go for V-Ray material, play with the material colors, play with the reflection, refractions and all. So then you can able to identify a very beautiful tones. So your material will impact most on the thing. If you're showcasing everything only with the help of basic colors, it won't look good. So that's why you need to add some stones, you need to add some marbles, granites, lights, these beautiful things to make a customer attractive. Yes, the render is ready. Here you can observe the final output. So save. So previously we saved a day. So now I will save the night. Same format I'm saving, that is PNG. Save. Okay, yes, it's done. So it's saved. So now minimize your max thing. So go back to Photoshop. So here you can observe night. So right click or yeah. So just drag and drop the similar thing in Photoshop. So what you need to do now, you need to turn the back main layer. Yes, this is the night scene. You can observe light. For the night scene, you need to decrease the brightness of the backdrops. So image, adjustment, brightness and contrast, click auto. According to your scene, it will match. If it is not matching, so use your brightness and contrast manually. Cancel it, it's not working. So not an issue. Uh, Image, adjustment, exposure, I will decrease the exposure. You can observe completely dull because as it is a dark scene, right? Okay, the same thing for one more. Image, adjustment, exposure. It's up to your requirement, you can showcase things. So then sky, of course, you need to change the for the night exposure, decrease the exposure. Yes, so this looks completely night or completely evening setup. So this one also, yes. So don't forget this one also, decrease the brightness a little bit. So anyways, in the front area we have a light source, so that's why not an issue if you're not decreasing much. So but try to decrease for the small amount, right? Okay. So then select the elevation, image, adjustment, brightness and contrast, auto. It will gain little more lighting over here. So you need to wait. So little more brightness if you need, you add, apply, okay. Yes. So this looks more decent, this looks more beautiful. So try to spend a lot more time with the Photoshop to place the backdrops, to place the background trees, foreground trees and all, and to do small color corrections. So we discussed on lights, we discussed on render settings, we discussed on day lighting, and also we discussed on night lighting. I hope the session was informative. We'll catch up in next session.